Good morning. Well, almost afternoon, everybody. It's Jen again. And I thought I might attempt to do some type of meal prep video. What you think, Eddie? Does that sound like a good idea? I don't have too awful much to do this week just because I had to, I don't have the time to do a big old bunch of stuff. So, I talked about my grocery haul a little bit. Quiche, chia pudding, chicken and salad, casserole, bacon. I don't know. We'll see what we get up to. I've done a few things. So here's the bacon that's going to be the meat in my crustless quiche. I forgot to put it in the fridge to thaw, so we're thawing it on the counter a little bit. It was in my freezer. Did I tell you all that? Lord, my brain's everywhere. But just enough to where it's thawed enough to where I can get it apart. And then I'll put it on a sheet pan lined with foil and get that all cooked up. So, right, Eddie? Right. What else have I got done? I did get all my vegetables already chopped and in bags and stuff throughout the week. I got my yogurt. I need to start it straining. Let me show you this too. So these are a couple things I actually have left from last week. Oh gosh, what's with this color? The blue's messing it up, I guess. But things I have left from meals last week. And so, see, here's the quiche. I'm going to make a somewhat identical looking one this week. But this is the one I made last week. I guess I just made too much. So luckily this stuff freezes very well. So I'm going to freeze these in individual portions. I always try to do that and keep it ahead and keep stuff in the freezer. Because it was such a godsend when I had the virus and I could not meal prep for a couple weeks. And we have food. Or if I ever have a week where I'm really got to be tight on the grocery budget, I'll have food. And then I have, gosh, let me move this blue thing. It's making everything look orange. I don't like it. Okay. Okay, we're back to normal. But I also got a couple of these jars of soups. I'm not going to freeze them right in here because I filled this. I don't think I left enough headspace to just freeze in there. I have done that in the quart masons that are like half full. Do your own research. They say you're not supposed to freeze in those things, so don't listen to me. I'm not an expert or anything. I'm a random fat lady on the internet. But these I'm actually going to put out. Well, let me show you. Let me show you. This was a big splurge item I got for myself a few weeks ago. These are called Super Cubes. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Hold on. Okay, so they're basically really large silicone ice trays. And here's 3 portions of the soup from the last time I made it. I need to pop these out and store them in the freezer. I just like the idea of this, but these are not cheap. They're like $15 a tray. It does seem like good quality, but it took me a long time. What are you attacking? What do you have? You okay, Eddie? What you got, bud? What you killing over there? Huh? But anyway, so it took me a long time to buy them, and I finally just one time I just, bought them and just to store it in. I really like it. So I'm going to put the soups in here, and then here's actually some cabbage casserole I made. It just pops out in these like 1-cup portions. So we'll do that. And I think this will just freeze a lot better. Well, let me show you that too. This was just all over the place, y'all. Just embrace it. So, see, here's the jars of soups from times past and broths. Because I learned how to make my own chicken broth, pork broth, beef broth. And that has been a godsend and saved me so much money. Who knew you could save bones and do all that and scraps and stuff? Anyway, whole nother story, whole nother day. But you can see it takes up a lot more room like this, I think. What's all this stuff? Oh, and here's some of the quiche I've frozen. So this is a ham-based one. So I got to get this organized in here, y'all. Don't pay no mind. But I've also been slowly buying these Glade freezer things just to cut back on not using as many like disposable Ziplocs and stuff. And not only just environmentally friendly, but budget friendly, because you buy it once, you use it over and over and over and over. Especially, I reckon, since they'll never get heated. But yeah, got like little oatmeal box I made for my dad. I got my like fig balls and date balls and stuff. But that's a whole nother story, whole nother day. So I have to move out last week's stuff to make room for this week's stuff. And I'm still, as I've talked about in other videos, still trying to get the right quantity of things to where I don't really have that many leftovers. But we're not going to waste those leftovers. They're going to get frozen and they're going to get put back to be used at a later date, you know. But yeah, I'm going to get to that. Oh, I did do one more thing. Hold on. Which this isn't really a meal prep. It's more of a weekend treat prep. But last night I ground me up some fresh coffee from whole beans. And then I made me enough whipped cream for a couple cups of coffee. I'll whip it up with just, I'd probably just do like a quarter or a third of a cup of heavy whipping cream and maybe between a quarter and a half teaspoon of vanilla extract, and I just whip it up. And I make me fancy coffees on weekend mornings or day off mornings. I just put some of this fresh whipped cream in the bottom of the cup. I pour my mocha or maca pot, I don't know how you say it, coffee over top. And I add a little bit of half and half, and I make it out of fresh ground coffee. So that's my little frou-frou thing. And I get that ready Friday night because I wake up a lot earlier than my father who lives with me. And I just don't want to be that jackhole in the morning running a coffee grinder and running, a power whisk, whipping up whipped cream and stuff. So I do it the night before. And it works fine for the weekend. I think that's one reason why I never really got into back in the day when, everybody was trying to get you to make smoothies to be healthy and stuff. I never got into it because I ain't going to be that, person running a blender at 6 a.m. in the morning when people are trying to sleep, But whole nother story, whole nother day. And yes, I'm crazy. I usually get up between like 4:30 and 5:30, even on the weekends. I know. Although this morning I slept in a little bit till about 6:15, 6:30. So, yeah. It's just, I'm ruined. But anyway, that's what I got so far. And again, anything I make that I'm using like a recipe with or something, I'm going to try to remember to link it down below. Y'all seem to enjoy that last time because most of it I find online through videos or recipes or what have you. So, let me get this stuff prepared or put away so then I can prepare it. Y'all know what I'm saying. And then I will be back with y'all when I'm doing something else. Alrighty, y'all. I thought I'd check in because I'm about to start my dryer going. Don't think you want to hear all that. Right, Eddie? My sous chef here. Or I guess I'm the sous chef. He's probably the head chef. But I got my cabbage cooked and put in these for the base of my taco cabbage casserole thing. And I will link the video. There's a video and there's also a printed recipe that the person who made the video was inspired by. She uses purple cabbage. I use green cabbage. She uses cilantro. I don't put it in because my dad's going to be eating on this and he doesn't like cilantro. So, yeah. And I think she uses like a different color pepper than I'll use. I just use the green bell pepper. It's cheaper. Same, green cabbage is cheaper than purple cabbage. Whatever. But I'll put notes under there. Y'all know I have all those notes. I'm like, here's the recipe, but I do this, 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 and this. So I got this ready to go, and then I'm making up the meat that's going to go on top of it. It's just started. I still got to add onions, peppers, tomatoes, seasoning, all that, but we're just getting it browned. Got my turkey bacon done. This is going to get crumbled up and put in the quiche. Because I don't know, I just don't like this by itself, but if I crumble up and I put it in something, it's alright. And I always struggle, I don't know, with turkey bacon to see when it's done, but whatever. And then I'm about to put a tray of regular bacon in. I make a whole tray at a time, and I don't cook it all the way to complete crispiness. I cook it till it's done, and then I put it in the fridge for the week, and then that way I can just throw it in a pan really quick, render the fat, get it up to the crispiness I want, and it's quick, but it's still like freshly cooked, if that makes sense. So, and I got my yogurt draining You can buy fancy yogurt drainers. You don't have to drain yogurt at all. I do it to make a really thick yogurt, and I remove the whey as much as I can from it. And I just have a plastic bowl with a plastic colander on top of it lined with coffee filters. It works fine. And you can see I got some whey from last week back there. We actually keep that and we use it as a buttermilk replacement. Like when my father makes his cornbread. And I also use it in my bread. Whole nother story, whole nother day. But that is what I'm doing. Let me show you. Well, I'll probably show you at the end because a lot of stuff's already been pre-made. So I'm not having to make it this week. So I'm pretty close to being done, actually. I like short meal preps. Next week I'll probably make up some more stuff. But yeah. Let me get my bacon in the oven. Let me get my beef done. I'll show you all this before it goes in the oven. That's my challenge today because I picked a lot of things that go in the oven. I usually try to pick things that have to be cooked on the stovetop, go in the oven, things, and you know, I have to put, I'm a nut. I put things in what temperature they are, and that's the longest part, just waiting for the oven to be free. But anyway, I'm going to get to it, get my dryer on, and I will check back in with y'all. Okay, so I got my tray of bacon out. And I got my taco meat mixture, whatever you call it, on top of my cabbage here. So you can kind of see. So I'm just waiting for the oven to go back down to 350. Then these will go in the oven for, I have no, these go in for 20 minutes, and I take them out and put cheese on it, put it back in for 5 minutes. So, and then those will be done. When I take that out and put cheese on it, I'll mix up my quiche. Then we'll put that together. Then I'm about done. Woohoo! I love it when it's really, really short. And I got lucky with this ground beef. I bought it Yugo Tuesday. I didn't even think about it. And the sell-by date was yesterday. And I smelled it and everything, and I think we're good. And I beat a few pieces, and I've not imploded yet. So, I'm too poor to waste $10 of meat. So, right, Eddie? I have to have that money for your food. Right? He just sits in here and just watches me when I'm in here. It's cute. My little shadow. I would say it's annoying, but when he's not doing it, then I have to go hunt him and be like, where'd he go? Yeah, that's these little casseroles. They're pretty, other than the beef, if you can get it on sale, or the meat. I think I may try it. I did a Italian version of it, and I want to try, like ground pork and ground beef with the Italian. I think that'd be pretty good. But yeah, anyway, that's my little update. We're going to get these in the oven. It's nice and warm and toasty in here now. It's the only bad part when all your stuff's in the oven and you got to run the oven all day. Oh, and then for these to, because I cook these in oven safe Pyrex, so they get cooked, and then once they're cool, I'm able to just put the lid on there and put them in the fridge and stack them. So I have, well, these are Anchor Hawking, but they're still oven safe. I don't know if I'm going to need 2 or 3 for quiche. It just depends on how the batch goes out. But I just take a stick of butter and rub it all in the inside of it. That's the only thing I found that does not stick. Is just plain old butter. And, yeah, we'll get to it. Right, Eddie? I'm getting to it, I promise. Okay, so the casseroles just came out of the oven. I'm about to top them with cheese and put them back in there. Also made up a couple of these for my dad for his overnight oats. He really likes those. And all this is, I've taken all the oats and dry ingredients and made him up a couple jars so that when he decides he wants some, he can just add his milk and some fruit if he wants to and put that in the fridge. So, because as I've said before, he's a grab and go guy. So if it's not like something that's very easily grab and go, it just won't happen. So I make these up for him. So and we put him, this variety he likes It's about 80 grams of oats, some cinnamon, some apple pie spice, a little bit of raw sugar, and then I put him a big heaping scoop of protein powder in there for him. So I think this is vanilla ice cream flavored protein powder, but yeah, we've done it with chocolate too. He likes it. And then I'll usually sprinkle him some blueberries in there, add him some milk, shake it up real good, and then the next day he'll have him some overnight oats. Alrighty, y'all. No need for a heater today. Having this oven going all day. I think it's about 80 something degrees in here. Anyway, I thought I'd show you, I got my last thing out of the oven. So these are the cabbage casseroles. They're about cooled enough to put the lid on and put them in the fridge. My crustless quiche, or whatever you want to call them. It's basically eggs, cheese, milk, and then veg and meat all mixed up and baked. So these just came out, and I'll pack them full of the veg, and then I ripped up, because I was too lazy to chop it, that peppered turkey. So, gosh, they smell so good. I can't wait. And I guess this counts as meal prep or food prep. I'm going to see if I got any tomatoes out here and air the kitchen out a little bit because it's really hot. Why are you in there, honey? You okay? I love these little cat-proof cages. Okay, she's not stuck. Okay, she's just sleeping there. That's fine. Cats are going to be cats. Hi, Daddy. Got this little one. My little new friend. Hi. Are you going to let me approach? Nope. But I already see some of these that I need to pick right quick. I try to get them, as you can see, there's one. I try to get them as they start turning, because if they go all the way red, they split a lot of times. So let me pick some, and I'll show y'all how many I get. Alrighty, y'all, so had to break out my shirt, but I got a pretty good bit right there. I have a bunch that I think is going to be ready to pick tomorrow too, and Lord, this is such a gom. Put all these together, I have to circle around and around and around, and there's little leaves that have fallen that are orange in there, and I keep thinking it's a tomato. Right, Cece? But yeah, cherry tomatoes just keep on giving. I just take them inside and have 2 bowls. These are just from the last like 2, maybe 3 days. These are ripe and ready to go, and these are on the way. So tell you what, next year I'll probably just do like 1 or 2 big tomato plants, and the rest is going to be cherry tomatoes, because the yield on these things is just next level. But let me get my stuff together here, and I'll just do a recap just to show y'all now that all my meal prep's done, except for I need to wash my lettuce. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to unseal the container probably till tomorrow, just so it stays sealed up as long as possible. But I'll show y'all everything that I'll be eating for my meals next week, even the stuff I did not have to prep. Okay, so let's start with breakfasts. That's hard to say. Let's start with breakfast. And I'm somebody, I eat the same breakfast every single day. I just vary it a little bit. So, like I've done, well, let me just tell y'all. So when I very first wake up, I drink a whole bunch of water, and I have me a little square of this quiche, because I do like a little workout in the morning, and I just find if I eat something just before I do that, I do so much better. And I've done hard-boiled eggs in the past, but I've really, really been liking doing this quiche. And then I go do my workout or whatever, take a shower, blah, blah, blah. And then about 2 hours later, I'll have me a chia pudding. Let's see, there we go. I've showed these before. I already had these made up because they last a good, depending on what you put in them, a week or 2 in the fridge. And I had plenty already made up, so I didn't have to do that this week. So, and then I make right before I leave the house and take with me and drink at work in the morning, especially in here lately where it's been real cold. I usually just make me a hot black tea, And I put a teaspoon of local honey in there from the co-op. So that is breakfast. Oh, I cannot wait to try this tomorrow morning. This is going to be good. Alright, and for my work lunch, I eat the same thing every day, Monday through Friday. And on the weekends, I'm not as strict with like my meal times and stuff, but whatever. I'm going to be having a salad. So, got some salad greens that I'll wash tomorrow. I'll put some tomatoes in there, grown in my garden. I just feel so fancy. Some of these nuts I got at Yugo. One serving, 28 grams. Some Primal Kitchen Caesar dressing, which I need to learn how to make my own dressing at some point, but I really like this stuff. And then these I found at Yugo this past week. These fully cooked chicken breast strips. So we're going to see how those are. And that's just going to be something that I throw together in the morning as I'm drinking my coffee each day and put in my lunchbox. Alrighty, and something I've been incorporating the last few weeks that's worked really well for me is at work snacks. I usually eat my lunch around noon or whenever I can at my desk, and then I'll go for a walk at the park an hour or two after that. And then when I get back from my walk at the park, I started making these energy balls a few weeks ago, and I love them. I do 2 varieties. I'm on my fig variety right now. These are vanilla, figs, walnuts, and almonds. I make them and I put them in the freezer, and then I take one out in the morning, and let me show you. I put it in one of these little mason jars, these little bitty ones, in my lunchbox, and then by the time I usually eat it around 3:30, it's completely thawed and ready to go. I also take some fruit with me to eat about half an hour before I head home, either 2 mandarins, or this week I got some grapes. So I'll take those in a little mason jar with me. Oh, I gotta have one of these. Oh man, I gotta have 2 more of them. Oh, they're dangerous. I gotta last me through the week. I gotta quit eating on them. Put my mandarins back up here. So that's my at work snacks. Alright, now for dinners. I do not eat the same thing every day. I like to have 2 or 3 options or more, depending on what's in the freezer. Kind of what I'm feeling that day, how much time I have. Like if I'm not getting home till like 8 o'clock, I need something that I can just nuke and go, you know. So one of the dinner options this week is this cabbage casserole. And then I also have sandwiches. So that's what I cook the bacon up for. So I can just put a couple pieces in the pan, really render the fat and get it crispy. Oh, hold on. And be able to toast my bread in that. And my bread I have in the freezer. I just have them in bags like this right now. I just pulled this one out, but I have 2 more bags full. And then, and I have lettuce, and then I'll cut up a tomato and mustard and put it on it. And then I also have option of pizza, something real quick. I have these crusts that I have made and par baked, and I keep those in the freezer. And I'll have that and maybe like, you know, an avocado. I need to eat these soon. I think they're finally getting ripe. Eat those with a sandwich. Eat those, and then I'll do a plate of tomatoes. So I also have frozen soups in the freezer. It just depends on what I'm feeling. If it's a real cold day, I may thaw me out of soup. I don't know. But just those kind of options, whatever I'm feeling. And then I have my after dinner snacks. Which more times than not is yogurt. Now the yogurt I made this week, it's still draining of the whey. But this is from last week. Still good. Homemade yogurt lasts a lot longer than that store stuff, in my experience. But I put them up in these little jars. And then, I forgot to show y'all. I have little things to add to them in my goodie drawer here. So I usually do yogurt, and then I got some sunflower seeds right now, and some cocoa nibs, or cacao nibs, or however you say that. I got some blueberries. I got some strawberries, I think, too. I also like to cut up an apple and put it in there. That's usually what I have. If I'm not that hungry, I may just not do the yogurt and just eat like a grapefruit or just eat an apple or pear by itself. Although I just ate my pear not too long ago. It was good. And yeah, that's probably what I'll have for the week. Just real easy. And I usually have like a decaf coffee with this at night. I love having just plain old black like decaf coffee in the evenings. I know I'm crazy. But yeah, I think that's about all my food I'm going to have. So not too much prep this week. I think next week I'll have to make bread and stuff. But a lot of stuff I had in stock. So you just kind of have to adjust with how much time you have. And, you know, like the extras I put in the freezer. So if something comes up and I just can't do any meal prep, I'm good for at least a few days. No issues. And, yeah, I think that does it for the meal prep. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I guess worst case, I can always be like, insert my editing self, you know. Haven't done a voiceover in a while. Might be time to practice. But yeah, and my sous chef or my head chef done quit on me. Let me see if I can find him. Eddie, are you sleeping on the job? I caught you. I see the boss don't really have to work though, right? You just come in and supervise. You were a good meal prep helper. I gotta finish the dishes. I gotta scrub that grill that my bacon cooked on, bud. You gonna help me? I bet them claws would be good at getting off stuck on stuff. Wouldn't they? Aww. Alrighty, y'all. Well, that is another... I found a stink bug. We about to kill it. Well, I'm going to get off here, y'all. Thanks for watching my meal prep. I'm going to go and kill this thing. Not in my house. Look at that. The face of evil right there. We ain't doing it. I hate them flipping things. Thank y'all so much. I'm going to get to it, and I will see y'all soon with something else. And again, I'm making a note for me and also for y'all. I'm going to leave what ones I have recipes for down below with little notes on how I am terrible at following recipes and do things differently. Alrighty, y'all. Bye.